Hello, great people. Welcome to Live Shackle Free with Euvonka Farabee. That's me, Euvonka Farabee. Thank you for joining me again today for midweek motivations. Wanted to give you a little bit of something to help you during the middle to get through the rest of this week to help achieve your goals and your dreams. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, if you think what I'm doing today, if you find it helpful, please share the video. Please encourage your friends and your business colleagues to subscribe to my channel. It's a new channel, and I want to make certain that I'm giving you all what you need to help you so that you can achieve your goals and dreams. This is a really big passion of mine, and I want to be here to help you in any way I can. Also, send me an email at info@liveshacklefree.com if there's a question that you have, or if there's a subject you think I ought to discuss when it comes to purpose fulfillment. I will be most certainly to help you in any way that I can. Today we are going to talk about boundaries. I love talking about boundaries because boundaries are important for a variety of reasons. And I facilitated quite a few workshops. It's helped me a lot, but also facilitated quite a few workshops. The Boundaries, if you're not familiar, by Dr. Henry Cloud. The Boundary series is excellent. They have them for teens. They have it for leaders. They have boundaries that they've written that's so helpful in so many different ways. And I would just want to talk about a few things today because I try to keep the time that I spend here very short. Something to just kind of give you something that's thought-provoking to help you put one foot in front of the other. So when we talk about boundaries, boundaries are comprised of two essential things: what we create and what we allow. And when we think about what we create and what we allow where boundaries concerned, that just does not include other people. It does. Our work colleagues, people in our lives and our families, but also how we govern ourselves. We have to be great leaders of ourselves as well. And successful leaders draw boundaries, and they draw them very well, and they draw them in a multitude of environments, including with themselves personally. And they have very specific things that they do, that they come up with for themselves to make sure that what they are trying to achieve is going forward and going forward on the continuum of where they want to go. And I would suggest asking yourself some questions and spending quite a bit of time asking yourself. And I have some notes here that I just want to share with you in regards to that. Because when it comes to boundaries, you talk about boundaries where your vision is concerned, the attention that you give your tasks, the attention that you give your family, the attention that you give yourself. You want to look at your life in totality, because when you draw great boundaries, you help yourself, the whole person of yourself, not just one aspect, the person that's on a job at work and building a career, or the person that's trying to build a business, or a person that's might be a wife, a mother, a husband, or a dad. Your whole self in totality is taken in consideration when it comes to boundaries, and helping to harness the energy of how you spend your time in places that it is going to help you succeed. So just a couple of things you want to ask yourself. One, how do you make sure that you're attending to what's most important? How do you? That's something that I personally cannot define for you, but you must define it. You have to define that for yourself, and what your values are, what's most important. And when we talked about before about focusing on the one thing that you need to focus on at this time in this season, and even narrowing it down to a particular activity so that you can get to the end of where you're going with that activity, that helps the totality of your destiny. But you'll be able to make traction when you focus. You want to be able to do that. And you want to be able to define what's important. And then once you define it, you want to look at what are some of the things that I am doing or that happen externally from me that stop me from keeping what I want to do presence of mind. What just kind of infiltrates and interrupts. When you look at boundaries for yourself, that's easy because you can control yourself. But some things we can't control. If you have a job that where you have a supervisor or a manager or leadership that don't practice good boundaries, it becomes a little bit more challenging. Some of the things you can do by negotiating with them, because sometimes people don't know that they're infiltrating your boundaries. They're just trying to get their things done. So where you can negotiate. Within your family, you might be able to have more success negotiating your time as well. Make it so that talk to your family where you need to, so that they're just not to and fro and not considering your time. And this may take some adjustment, but this is something that you might be able to do so that you can spend the time that you need to. When I say spend the time that you need to, I'm not talking, if you don't have hours to spend, don't worry about that. If you have 1 hour to spend, if you have 30 minutes, 45 minutes to spend, be very focused and deliberate and consistent with that hour. Because what will happen is you'll start to have small successes that turn into big successes. And that's what you want. That's going to boost your confidence. That's also when things begin to take form and shape, and you're not all over the place, and you're harnessing that energy to the place where it needs to be, and what you're trying to create starts to come to fruition. You can see if you need to make adjustment. You can see if it's not even a direction you want to go. Sometimes you can get to a place and be like, you know what, this is not really what I want. It's not what I thought. That's a win. Don't think that you're wasting your time. That's great, because now you can focus on more things or other things that you should focus on, or you can just change it and tweak it so that it works for you. But boundaries are going to be very important for you to be able to get to that point. Also, think about the things that you're going to do to keep what you do. We kind of talked about this, presence of mind. What are the things that you're going to do that's going to help you to achieve that? But also, how are you going to create a current river of information and a flow of information from the thing that you have decided? You've defined it. You're going to spend your time doing it. So now you need a continuous flow of information that's coming to that dream so that it comes to its fruition. Begin to make a map for yourself in terms of what you need to do, what type of research you need to do, what people you need to reach out to, what kind of meetings you need to have, with teleconferences, whatever it is that you need to do to keep your continuum going. Do you need to partner with anybody? Do you need to seek out a mentor? Do what's necessary to make that happen for yourself, and draw boundaries for yourself to make sure that that happens. Make sure that you're keeping yourself accountable for what you need to, because nothing is more important than you achieving what it is that you want to achieve. Because right now, what else matters? We want to fulfill destiny. The way that we live our life matters. There are people who need what you have. And I'm not talking about forsaking, things that are important in your life in terms of your family. They all get blessed when you are going after your hopes and your dreams and what you believe. And that dash that's between when you're born and when we pass away, that dash means something. And how we live our life is in that dash. And we want to make sure that we are spending our time wisely. And God is faithful. He redeems time. So don't worry about, hey, I think it's too late. Oh my goodness, it's just things are just too much. Remember, we talked about not thinking about the whole enchilada and everything that you want to do. Focus on that one thing. Draw boundaries for yourself. Be a good leader of oneself. If you can't lead yourself, it's challenging to lead others. People follow our example when we're leaders. And you want to have the most fulfilled life where you have harnessed your energy into places that are useful and gainful, that are gaining traction, and that are not depleting you and drawing from you. And you have the control to do that. You have the ability to do that. And don't let any external source take that from you, take that power from you, even if it's yourself. Get your mindset so that you don't accept negativity from yourself. Draw boundaries on what you take into your mindset, the things that you listen to. Take authority over those things so that you can walk in the truth of who you are. Because the truth of who you are is that you're already victorious. But trying to get it from here to here, it takes effort. It takes a concerted effort to focus and do the things that are feeding your mind so that your heart and your backbone can shore up so that you can move forward to achieve what you need to achieve. Again, I wanted to keep this short. I went in 10 minutes, I'm a little longer than I wanted to. But I hope this was helpful to you. Again, hit the subscribe button and share the video and encourage your friends to subscribe. And again, I can be reached at www.liveshacklefree.com. Sign up for our mailing list or to get information if you're interested in our group coaching events. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Thank you for sharing this time with me for midweek motivations. Bye.